Oh, you know it is the 9 o'clock hour, and that means it is time for Therapy Thursday. I'm your girl, America Jones, right here on Soulher Radio. It is the sounds of sisterhood, her mic, her mission, her moment. And on the phone, I've been dying for this call, y'all. I've been promoting it like crazy, like for 3 weeks. I've been cannot wait. But this guy is really busy. And so the fact that we got him on the phone today is amazing. Let's welcome to the phone line, Bobby Rogers, the Vice President of the NAACP Denver chapter. Welcome, Bobby.
Yo, thank you. Thanks for having me. How you doing?
Oh, I am so excited to have you on the line. I think, this is a really perilous and difficult time. I mean, with the Nolan Wells case that just came out, and he's one of several young Black men who are no longer with us. They've lost their lives due to suspicious circumstances. And I thought we might talk a little bit about how we protect our young Black men.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, that's very important right now is protection of our youth. It seems that we are being targeted from all angles. So that's what we definitely need to do is figure out how to protect our youth.
So as a vice president of the NAACP, congratulations, my friend. We have a long history together. You are a very talented individual. And on another call, at another time, we'll talk about some of the other things that you do. But what is the NAACP stance in some of these spaces? What are some of the programs that they're implementing to kind of support community in this way?
Well, right now, our plan is to get back to community and to get back to parents and focusing on parenting again. I believe a lot of what's going on right now is we have somehow, some way, it lost our children in translation. We went from parenting to having kids as our friends. It's just not working anymore. So I think what we are trying to do is we're trying to partner with the community, with any community partners, any community programs who already have like parenting programs, diversion programs, anything like that we can also get involved with and support. We're fully ready to do that. But currently right now, like I said, we want to focus on community and unity and getting everybody together and actually being on one accord and getting together with these parents and just trying to do this as a community. We do understand that it takes a village to raise these children. And I think that at some point we forgot about the village. So we need to get back to the village.
Absolutely. I think that's the case too. What do you think about the music? Because, we see that there's, the Spend It, that's the song of the summer, right? No harm, no foul to my girl, Young Miami, she outside, she doing what she's doing. And I kind of feel like a little bit of get off my lawn because we're not kind of in that generation. Right. But at the same time, what are these kiddos listening to? And is that an influence as well?
I am an artist. I was an artist. And so I feel a way about music and art, right? So me personally, I'm a person who always feels that music is art. Art is art. So me, myself, personally, I allow my children to listen to whatever music they want to listen to. And I don't believe that dictates how they are raised or how they come up or what they do in life. That's just me personally. That's my personal stance. Now, as far as is music influencing the children, I would say that there is some sort of connection with the two, for sure. I know that while I'll sit here and tell you that I'll allow my kids to listen to whatever. I also am very aware that I have children who like to watch TV and like to listen to videos and want to do what they see. I mean, I have a child right now who I don't care what he sees on TV, he wants to do it. So if it's whether that's riding a unicycle or whether that's on a motorbike, or he wants to learn how to fish or make his bike into a motorcycle or whatever it is, he sees that and he wants to do it. So I think that what that boils down to is us paying more attention to our children and looking at what they're watching, listening to what they're listening to, and being able to actually correct behaviors as opposed to waiting until something happens and then trying to blame something else. I mean, I think that we don't do enough of correcting our children's behavior. We do a lot of blaming other things for it instead of just correcting it and moving on. And we need to get back to correcting our children and just parenting, I think. So if you ask me about music, I will say that my household listens to everything. But we also are very vigilant on what our children do. And how they move in the streets and how they act. So
absolutely, yeah, you are an incredible parent. I've witnessed it firsthand, how active you are, and that's transformative for your kids. Like I see, two of your sons like moving with you in that way, and I think that is, I love it. You give me the goosebumps. You and your beautiful wife, who happens to be a host here too as well. And I love that dynamic because it is one band, one sound in your house. Yeah. And there's great navigation and negotiation that happens so that you give the kids a little bit of autonomy and a little bit of freedom, so they're working on who they are and learning to grow, but not so far where they can't be responsible for that either. So exactly. We're going to jump back into some music real quick, and then we're going to come back and continue our conversation with Bobby Rogers, Vice President of the NAACP Denver chapter. We've got a lot more to discuss coming up about getting ready to vote. You know, these midterm elections are coming up. How can we use the ballot box as a way to transform our young people's lives? We're going to get into that as we come back. Here's 112 with Mace featuring Love Me right here on Soulher Radio. Do that Puff Daddy ish. We are definitely into Therapy Thursday. It's your girl, America Jones. Welcome to the show. If you're just joining us, I have Bobby Rogers, the Vice President of the NAACP Denver chapter, on the phone lines. We've been talking all kinds of different stuff. We've been talking about how we parent our kids this morning. We've been talking a little bit about that music game, because these kids be outside and they be clocking it. Okay, look, I don't need to be the person that says that because that sounds so funny. But in addition to that, we're definitely going to be talking about what you do at the ballot box. We know that the primaries are so low within engagement and turnout, but I want to ask you, Bobby, why is it so integral that we get active in these midterm elections coming up in November?
Well, I think currently right now, this is going to, like we talked about earlier, is going to determine a lot of things. It's literally is going to determine it's going to dictate how everything's going to be ran over the next 8 to 10 years. We have a lot of things going on as far as with our president, who is trying to pass a lot of initiatives, a lot of laws, and he's signing a lot of executive orders. And what is very interesting for me is I have noticed a lot of interest within these midterms. People are very concerned about what's going on. They're really concerned about the cost of living. They're concerned about gas prices. They're concerned about us warring. They're concerned about a lot of programs that have been taken away. And they're concerned about, if I can be quite honest, about our children's future. So I think that we have had a lot of interest in voting right now. Even with the president doing the trying to pass
crazy stuff. It's the crazy stuff. Just say it. Like we pull no punches. You can cuss on here. You can do whatever. Be yourself, because it's wrong what he's doing. Let's call it out. It
Yeah.
is wrong what he's doing, hurting other people. Like, I'm so livid over all of it, right? I'm so livid. You got 300,000 plus, maybe 600,000 plus Black women out of
Mhm.
work, right? We got housing
Mhm.
prices that are
Right.
astronomical and you can't move around and
Mhm.
do anything. You've got these youth that are just like kind of running around lawless. I mean, we had a shooting in our own area and they want to blame like the club owner, but that's not necessarily the case, right? Like that's not the case in this case.
Right.
And
That's not the case.
it is totally not the case. I know the owner of the club as well, and he's a good guy. And all he wanted to
Mhm.
do was provide a place of safety and refuge and a place of gathering for people. Now, a hothead
Right.
goes off and says, okay, you said something to me kind of funky, and my best solution isn't to box. Because, I mean, when we came up, it was you fought first before you shot,
Oh yeah, always off top.
right?
Off top.
Right?
I feel like the shooting didn't come till way afterwards. Like it was something different. The culture was way different. It nowadays these children. Um, Again, we get back to parenting. I think that a lot of these children were raised different. We have been raising our children different than what we were taught.
Yeah,
I think.
100%. 100%.
Um, and yeah,
100%.
it's now it's shoot first, ask questions later.
Right. And
I
then
don't
it's
think
my
any
bad,
I don't
right?
think any child is yeah, I don't think any child's even worried about the consequences of anything.
I think that is a good point. Like, you know, and I can equate that to voting as well because there
Hmm.
are a lot of people. I have friends, and not these weren't even Black people. These were white people who were like, "Oh yeah,
Hmm.
I think that Trump's going to be a horrible president, but I'm just not voting." I was like, "What? Wait a
Yeah.
minute. Hold on a second. You are part of the privileged class that gets the chance to do all the things, and you're not voting. So then
Hmm.
that is a vote, though. That is a whole vote because your apathy.
Yeah. A lot of times they don't feel that they're affected either way, and that's sad. That we can have people in this that in our nation that feel as though like like it doesn't matter who is president, what gets done, doesn't affect anything I do, and that happens a lot. Like you said, with our younger generation, that they feel they're not affected either way. Like they're still like I still gotta go to work, I still gotta do whatever I gotta do, and it doesn't really matter. And I think what um, what's really important for younger kids to know is that something that may not affect you now may affect you 10 years from now.
Mm,
You may not be interested in buying a house, but just like the 30-year-olds weren't interested in buying a house 10 years ago. And now they're interested in buying a house. 30 and 40-year-olds are interested in buying houses. And now they're seeing that, man, I can't buy a house like I could have when I was 18.
yeah,
Or
100%.
21, 22 years old. It's totally different. So, but that goes back to laws and all that stuff that we voted on, and Fed rates going up, and that goes to all of that stuff that we don't pay attention to
Mm.
because we don't feel as though it affects us.
Sure.
You know what I
We don't
mean? And
see
so,
it. It's like kind of like invisible, right? Because it's like, okay, some law just got passed, but
correct.
how is this? As long as I can go to McDonald's or go do, get in my whip and go buy my concert ticket to Usher, we good,
It doesn't
right?
matter. Yeah, it
Right.
doesn't matter.
Yeah, yeah,
It
yeah.
doesn't matter.
Yeah.
When we are facing recession and our spending has not stopped, we're still spending the same amount of money that we were spending. Nothing stopped. It's not as if we stopped spending money because Usher's concert is still $1,000 for tickets.
Yeah.
It's still sold out.
Which is
So I think a lot
crazy.
of us are also right. A lot of us are also forgetting, or not forgetting, but trying to escape
Mm.
reality by doing a lot of stuff. Right. So like, I know my rent is due, but guess what? I'm about to go buy these tickets,
Yeah.
and I'm gonna worry about rent later.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
That
saying? So I think
prioritization. Yeah.
a lot of us are sacrificing a lot of things, thinking that we're gonna make it up here in the end. When we have to look at our unemployment rate, like you said, 300,000 Black women, they've been the most affected by this.
Yeah.
To where it takes a person right now to find a regular job. You see everyone, it shows everyone hiring. I see now hiring every single place. But you can go and apply for 20, 30, 40 different places and they're not going to call you back.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And
100%.
it's become, you know what I'm saying? And this is because, again, we going to take it back to voting. This is important because we have voted on a lot of different things that affect our workplace, that affect wages, that affect food, that affect a whole bunch of things that affect our daily life. Again, and it's when you're young and you don't think this is even important to you until you start seeing it affect you. And again, there's a lot of people that don't even know how voting affects certain stuff.
Right. Because we don't have civics classes in school anymore. So now that the civics
No.
classes are out, you really don't have the. I missed the little cartoon. Oh, this is a bill. I'll go into Capitol
Oh, yeah.
Hill. Like,
I remember.
but
I remember.
But look, do we remember that though, right? So it's like talking
Uh-huh.
to the kids in a space or talking to youth in a space where they remember that stuff. We don't have that level of cartoons where the kids are really doing that. There's not that kind of
No.
programming out there that's really influencing these youth like that, right? Because
I mean,
I
if we want to be
can't see
100% honest,
anything.
they stopped funding PBS.
Oh yeah, 100%. But we can talk about that later.
So you know what I mean? So it's like this is a direct reflection of what our vote did.
100%.
This is what our vote did.
100%.
We have took funding away from PBS, which was one of the few stations that are still out there that is educating our children. That you can still turn on, yes, safely educating our children.
Yeah, safely.
You can turn it on and you're going to get a good cartoon that is going to teach the kids ABCs. They're going to be good, teach you how to be a good kid, teach you how not to be a bully. You know what I'm saying? They're going to teach all this stuff on PBS, and we're not that they're taking funding away from that.
Yeah. It's tragic. I think the whole thing is tragic. And we're going to get into, because I definitely want to ask you some questions about this Nolan Wells case. Not that we're deep into that, because I'm still on the outside of it, because something's fishy, but I don't know what, right? Like something's not quite right, but you can't quite put your finger on it. And I don't know. I mean, I just see, and more about the relationship, that's not even a word, relationship amongst like mixed peers like that. Like I want to talk about, how do we keep our kids safe in some of these environments, and how is it that it seems like there's this laissez-faire approach to, hey, this kid is missing and now this kid is dead. So why isn't it as serious? If that was if that was an Anglo kid, if that was even an Asian kid, you might have a different response rate. But I feel like it was like, oh, it's par for the course, man. The squirrel outside is dead. Like it was like the same. There was no instance of urgency. But I want us to pause right here. I'm gonna get back to the music real quick. Play some LaToya. She ain't got. That's the name of that song. She ain't got. Okay. But when we come back, we're going to talk a little bit about Nolan Wells and get ready to wrap up this edition of Therapy Thursday. Bobby, please hang in with me. This is just an amazing conversation. And I'm already going to pre-ask to have you on again. And we'll try to get you in person. I know you're super busy and flying everywhere now. So I'm so grateful that you called in. But we're going to come back with more with Bobby Rogers, the vice president of the NAACP Denver chapter, and continue this conversation, especially around Nolan Wells. Up next, like I said, LaToya, She Ain't Got, right here on Soulher Radio. Better. It is Therapy Thursday right here on Soulher Radio. I'm your girl, America Jones, America in the Morning. Today, we've had such an amazing guest on the airwaves with us. We have Bobby Rogers, the vice president of the NAACP Denver chapter, and we've been having the most illustrious and incredible conversation. Bobby, I could talk to you every day, all day, because I think you're fascinating. But I can't let you get up out of here without talking a little bit about Nolan Wells. This case is so perplexing to me. It is so challenging. I'm freaked out because I have little nephews that live in an area where their friends are going to not look like them. They're mostly white kids.
Right.
I'm gonna be 100. They're mostly white kids, and they go to school where I just found out that they wrote the N word on the bathroom. I hate N word in the bathroom. And
Oh, wow.
the school did nothing to tell the parents. If the kids get in a
Oh,
fight
wow.
and my nephews are involved in it, because they're asserting their boundary because somebody pushed or kicked them and they push or kick back or whatever, they're the ones that get in trouble. And it's my brother and his wife that come to the school to have the conversation with the principal.
Mm-hmm.
So in this case where where this young Black, and I'm going to call him, he's a youth. He hadn't even gotten really fully.
He was a baby.
Yeah, he was totally 100%.
He was a baby.
Surrounded by a bunch of kids that don't look like him.
Mm-hmm.
What advice is it that we give our kiddos?
It's difficult to tell your child that they have to be careful or mindful of their friends. But I think that's something that we should preach to our children. This is something I think we should preach to our kids every way. Not every person that you hang out with is your friend. Not every person that says they're your buddy is really your friend. And I think a lot of times our children are a bit trusting, right? Because we want to raise them in a way to where they're not hating their neighbor or they're not feeling a way about something. So our initial intention is to make them as loving as possible. But with doing that, again, as Black parents, we also have to teach our children different things.
Mm.
So again, we have to teach our children to be vigilant. We have to teach our kids to make sure that they pay attention to their surroundings. We have to teach our kids to, if something doesn't feel right, call so we can come get you or leave the situation. We have to teach our kids that if someone is treating you away, leave. That's not your people. This is stuff that I think that, again, it sounds silly, but this is also like the lesson that we give our children of how to act when the police pull you over. It's the same thing.
Mm.
I think we have to teach our children this. This is stuff that we have to teach our children because, like you said, there's going to be instances to where something like writing the N word on the bathroom stall may happen, and the parents aren't going to be notified. So how does your child react to that? You have to teach your child how to react to that situation, what to do in that situation, how to speak up, how to protect themselves,
Mm-hmm.
how to defend themselves. We have to teach that to our children because right now we are in a world that is very unpredictable. It's very scary, and everyone is on edge to the point to where people are getting upset about the smallest of things and heighten it to where they're just blowing up everything out of proportion. And right now is the best time for us to teach our children how to navigate this because they're facing it head on. My son has a child on his football team, on his 11-year-old football team, who has an ankle bracelet.
11?
He's 11 years old.
Oh my goodness.
He has an ankle bracelet.
Yeah.
How do you teach your kid that?
That's a lot. That's a lot, Bobby. That's a lot.
Yeah, but that's reality.
It is.
This is reality. This is what we have.
Yeah.
We have children with ankle bracelets being treated like criminals for a mistake that they made
As a kid.
as a child.
Yeah. As a kid. They're kiddos, right? So we're giving them an adult
Yes.
punishment, yet and still they're a child.
They're kids.
And so what is
They're
that
children.
conditioning in their mind to be thinking about as they move forward? That
Yeah. What
where's
is
my
that teaching them?
Yep, where's my worth? Where's my worthiness? Where do I belong? Who am I?
Mm-hmm.
But on the other side of that is the reception of him having, or this individual kid having and I'm sorry to be assumptive because I shouldn't be, having an ankle monitor. Is it also a status symbol? What is the feedback from the other kids around this child?
Well, my kids were terrified. my kid seen it, and he told his little brother, like, "Hey, you see that kid with the ankle bracelet? Don't talk to him. Stay away from him. We go."
Oh, poor kids on both sides because they don't know what to do. You know,
Right? He
like,
didn't know, and so I had to explain to him, like, "Well, no, what we're not doing is we're not staying away from him."
yeah, right, facts.
'Cause we don't exactly know what happened, right?
Yeah, facts.
And every kid makes a mistake.
Yeah.
So we're not going to stay away from him, but we're going to be mindful of what we do, when we're around him. We're not going to do no silly stuff. We're not going to do no, you know what I'm saying?
Don't
one
follow
thing
the
I tell my
crowd,
kids,
right? Don't follow the crowd.
right? Don't do no bullshit.
100%.
That's my favorite thing to tell the kids.
Yeah.
Don't do no bullshit.
Yeah, 100%.
Now, yeah, just understand that everything that you do, it comes back to you. You're gonna have to take responsibility and accountability for it. So we have to raise our children that way. So we look at it and we say, what do we do with our kids? We have to just keep freaking reminding them.
Yeah.
Every
Facts.
single day.
Facts. And also, like,
That's what we do.
we also can't be their friend. Like, I
No.
know I'm a TT. I couldn't do the kid thing. I tried. Nope. Hard no. I got 2
Right.
nephews and 9 godkids. I figured that was good enough. I need to have some that were in my house. And I'm terrified for all of them. Like my oldest ones, they're old. They're getting like 25, 20. And they're very, very responsible. And like now I'm like, okay, I can be a great TT because that means like a grand, like a GMA or whatever. I'll be a great TT.
Right.
But these my youngest nephew is about to turn 9 in just a couple of weeks. And, I'm terrified for him. I'm terrified. I am. I'm terrified of the people, not of them, not of who they are, but I'm terrified of the other people around them. And so
Right.
everything that you said was about having these deep conversations. And I get that opportunity as well. And if you could leave us with like one last word around what to do for and I'm not trying to square this on you. This isn't your baggage to carry around, but you have such great perspective. If there was something you could share to give to parents and say, this is the one thing that I try to carry with me around my child, what would that be?
Talk to your children. They actually will talk back. Ask them questions. Ask how they're feeling. Ask what's going on with their day. Ask if they need anything. And not like McDonald's, but ask them about them. I think we don't do enough of asking our children how they are and if they need anything and how they feel. We don't do enough of that. Also, love on your kids. Give your kids hugs and kisses every day. Tell them you love them every day. We need to do that. And I think my word of advice for all parents is just to be there. Be a parent. That's all kids really want is somebody that's there. They're not worried about no money. They're not worried about no stuff you buying them. They more worried about you being right there.
Oh,
That's all. That's
that
all they want.
that's beautiful. I love it. I mean, those are the words to end this edition of Therapy Thursday. But I can't let you get out of here without telling folks how they can get in touch with the NAACP, with what you've got going on. Can you share that information with the audience?
Yeah. So if you want to become a member, you can go to our website, naacpdenver.org. Hit the member tab, and you can get a membership. It's $30 a year, $10 a year for the youth. We also do have a youth program. So if you have a young child who is interested in getting into the community and trying to do more stuff for them, we do have a youth chapter. So get in contact with us. You can also reach me at VP at NAACPdenver.org. Or if you are interested, again, in memberships, you can also email us at members at naacpdenver.org. So, yeah, get at us. We are more than welcoming every single person that wants to be a member. We would love to have you.
Well, I love this, and I'm so grateful. I mean, like I said, I could talk to you for 1,000. You showed up in my classroom before, and we've had some great conversations there. I love seeing how you're moving and what you're doing. So, Bobby Rogers, everyone from the NAACP. The vice president, yes, salute, sir. Salute to
Thank you.
you. Denver chapter, thank you so much for how you're pouring into community and for this amazing conversation on Therapy Thursday. I feel so happy because I've been talking about you coming on the airwaves with me for like weeks since we got started. Like I think I even started talking about it. This was even before the Nolan Wells case, and then that just amped it up a little bit more. So thank you so very much for coming on with me. I appreciate it. You know, I adore you, and I think the highest of you. And we got a lot of work to do, my brother.
Yeah. Thank you for having me. I appreciate you. And we do have a lot of work to do. So, let's get to work.
Yeah, let's get into
Let's
it.
do it.
Once again, it is the end of Therapy Thursday. Thank you so much for rocking with your girl, America Jones. I will see you tomorrow morning, bright and early at 6 a.m. right here on Soulher Radio, the sounds of sisterhood, her mic, her mission, her moment.